Hold on. Let me put
We're
on my
live and
lights.
we're live.
Yeah.
So, hi, Jeanne. It's great to have you here today. Can you still hear me?
Hi, Deborah. Yeah, I can hear you. Hi, Deborah.
Okay, yeah, it's really great to have you here today. I don't know if you'd like to do a brief introduction for the audience. So I find it really hard to pronounce your name. I think I don't know if I'm pronouncing the Jean right correctly. So please could you help me with your name pronunciation, please?
Yeah, sure. So, hi, everyone. Jeanne d'Arc is the French name.
Sorry?
Jeanne d'Arc. That means
Jean.
Jeanne d'Arc
Jean.
is the French name. D'Arc.
Oh, Jean. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly at
Jeanne.
this point,
But
but I
for
think
the
I'm trying.
easiest way, you can just use Jane. That's the easiest way
J.
because it has an English version. Just use Jane as in
Jane.
short.
Okay, so Jane,
Yeah.
Jane, is actually Jean in French.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's I think I've learned something today. Okay, what about your other names? The arc I'm seeing.
The arc is yes, my first name is has two parts. Jean
Okay.
d'Arc. Yes. But for
Oh, it's
simplifying things, most of people likes to use the first, just the
uh
first part rather than saying them as a
wow.
whole. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like two names in one rather.
Mhm. Definitely.
Wow. What
Yeah.
about your surname?
NYIRAMWIZA.
And
Do you want the
Yamiza.
meaning?
Sorry?
Yes. It's the
Can you come again?
Kinyarwanda name. NYIRAMWIZA. It's the Kinyarwanda name.
Wow. So
NYIRAMWIZA.
how come you have a French name and a Rwanda name?
But in Rwanda, most of because of these religion things, when you are I'm a Catholic, so most of the time you have the first name should be most of the time it's the foreign name, and you
Okay.
should have your last name should be your just your family just family name. I'm a Rwandan,
Yeah,
that's
that
why I
makes
have
sense.
a Rwandan name.
So
Yes.
so your first name is like a stolen French name.
Mm-hmm.
If I got that
True.
correctly.
Definitely.
Okay, nice. Actually nice. It's actually a very unique name. I don't think I've heard it
Yeah.
before. I think when I saw your name on within LinkedIn, yeah. I think the first time I had a
Mm.
chat with you was on LinkedIn. I was like, wow. I was like, what?
Oh,
like, when I was even setting up the flyer, I had to keep copying and pasting your name because I couldn't spell it out. I didn't want to make
but
any
it's a
mistake.
common name. It's a common
Really?
name in
Where?
just
Not
mostly
not
in French speakers countries. French speakers
okay, yeah.
countries. It's
But
a
not
common
here.
name. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's a French name, obviously, so it's
Yeah.
become there. Yeah. Okay. So please can you just do a brief introduction for the audience?
Definitely. Hi everyone. Yeah, my name is Jeanne Nyiramiza. I'm based in Rwanda, Kigali, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. I'm a back engineer with over 4 years of experience, and I'm truly passionate about creating robust and efficient backend solutions. Over the years, I've had the privilege to work on some exciting projects. So I'm here to share my knowledge, insights, and experiences, and I'm looking forward to answering your questions. I'm also excited to connect with fellow enthusiasts in the backend development community. So thank you for having me, and let's have a great discussion. Yeah, thank you.
That was a pretty nice introduction. Like where you kept your straight face with the whole newscaster vibe. Like well, thanks. So how many years have you been a backend engineer for?
So I've started the backend engineer in 2018. 2018. So I have more than 4 years, 4 years and 5 months, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, that's like almost
Yeah,
senior role. I think senior starts from what year? Is it 4 years, 5 years?
yeah, five
Like
years.
5 years.
It's a
Wow,
mid senior.
So you're mid senior. Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
interesting. In Nigeria, we call you guys the ABBA dev, like ABBA developers.
Oh,
It's like the
Abba.
senior developers. ABBA means it's just a slang, you know. Okay, so thank you so much for the brief introduction. Thank you for making the introduction very brief. Um, so so
No
hey guys,
problem.
this is Jeanne. I hope I got that right. Jeanne Dark. Let me
Mhm.
just let me just let me just focus on your first name. So this is Jeanne. Jeanne.
Mm.
Oh my god, don't mind me. So thank you so much, John, for doing this with me. So if you're new or you're going to watch this or you're watching this for the first time, this is me doing a Q&A series for as many women in tech as possible and reaching out to as many women in tech that are interested in learning new careers, advancing in their career path, and have any career related questions that they're curious to ask but have like no one to ask and they would love to ask those questions. That sounded like a rhyme. Whatever though. So yeah, so this whole this Q&A series I started recently and I've been collaborating with Women Tech Makers Ambassadors. I'm a women tech maker ambassador, and since I became a women tech maker ambassador, I looked for a way to reach out to as many women in tech as I can. Because when I was starting my tech career, I didn't really have like the support. I didn't really have like a support system. I didn't have like people to actually go to ask questions, career related questions. I was all over the place. I was learning like a couple of technologies. I didn't really have like a proper guidance. I didn't really have anyone to ask solid questions about what I should do and what I should not. Yeah. So it was later on in my career path that I got to know about tech communities that I could join, and from there I became a women tech makers ambassador recently this year, and I'm trying to give this is me giving back to the community. This is me helping as many women as I can. So I'm a software developer, and so recently I got interested in cloud development and I've been learning cloud development. So I am limited to my knowledge, yeah. So I love to bring on collaborate with rather other women tech makers ambassadors that are professionals in their fields to share their knowledge, their wealth of experience with you, and give you an opportunity to reach out to them. So the social media links of Jeanne is added to the video this video description. So even after the call, if you watch this video sometime later, or you join during this event, or you have joined during the event, you can always reach out to Jeanne. Jeanne, I'm now saying John instead of Jean. Oh my God, help me. So you can reach out to her via her social media
Just feel
handles
free.
that will attached to this video description. Thank you. So yeah, so without further ado, I think I'll get right into it. It's already 8 minutes past, and I don't want us to spend so much time here. So I have a list of questions to ask Jean today. And if you're just joining the call, please feel free to ask your questions in the comment section. And any question related to backend engineering, backend engineering, yeah, you could ask your questions in the comment section. Thank you. So yeah. So the first question I have for you, Jean, please could you share your journey and how you got started in backend development?
Oh, thank you. So my journey to into backend development is somehow funny. So because my journey started with a simple post from a friend who shared an application call for a tech bootcamp. And I found it interesting and decided to take a leap of faith by leaving my previous job to pursue a new career in tech. And the bootcamp lasted for 6 months, and upon its completion, I was just fortunate to secure an internship in the backend development within just 1 month. And this was the beginning of my exciting journey in the world of backend development. And as an exciting career background, I'm coming from agriculture. I hold a bachelor degree in agricultural economics and agribusiness. So right now I'm a backend engineer. So that's that's why most of the time I used to say that my career path in tech is somehow tricky and funny because I've never planned to be a tech person. So but I went there by chance or by accident. Yeah.
Okay, so are you done? I don't know if it's my network or it's you. You're a bit
I don't know if
stagnant.
it's mine.
But am I stagnant from my own end?
Let me,
From your own end, rather.
from my
Sorry.
own end.
Um, let me quickly just check the live video to know if I'm stagnant, to know if it's from my own end, so I can quickly switch my network to a better one. Um, Hi, can you still hear me? Okay. Hi, Jeanne. I think it's from your own end. I could quickly send you a message on um, LinkedIn. Can you still hear me? If you can still hear me, you can send me a message on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn. Okay.
So sorry. My Can you hear me
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, I can.
My
Perfect.
PC is doing some updates, so that's why it
Oh, okay.
was.
That's fine. No, it's fine.
Sorry
I'm
for
glad you're back.
yeah. I'm sorry for this.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so you were talking about you're sharing your journey with me on how you got started in backend development. So I don't know if you were done before the network, before your system went off or something.
I don't know if you want me to repeat again. We're just
You
saying
don't have to repeat
my.
again. I'm just asking if you were done with sharing your journey.
Yeah, I'm done with it.
Okay, fine. Okay, okay. So thank you so much for that for that answer. I hope that answer inspires someone getting started in backend development. Please, if you're just joining the call, please feel free to ask your questions in the comment section. Jeanne is a she's a mid. Yeah, I said mid senior backend engineer. So you can shoot your questions to her and shoot, and I would ask her the questions. So yeah, the second question I have for you, Jean, is what inspired you to pursue a career in tech and become a backend developer?
So the inspiration was when I joined the internship. When I first put my first step in tech was being a backend engineer intern. And I was very
Okay.
happy seeing how the backend engineers are playing a great role in the just the functionality of an application, just being behind the scene. And I was just very interested. And I said, oh, I do remember my team lead at the end of the internship asked me if I preferred to continue as a front end or a backend engineer. And I told him, no, I want to stay as a backend engineer. And he asked me why. Because I just want to be behind the scene. I just want to be that person who is doing the magic of an application. That was my interest. And up to now, and even up to now, I'm interested in the backend engineer. I just want to be that person that no one is saying, just behind the scene and doing the magic.
Mm, yeah, the OG. You want to be like the OG.
Yeah.
So I feel like front end developers would feel like I mean like shots fired to front end developers be like, oh, so we're not creating magic.
You
But
know,
okay. No offense to front end developers, please. No offense. Whereas back end engineers are still like the OG. Okay, so the next question I have for you is could you describe some of the most exciting or challenging projects you've worked on as a backend developer?
yeah, definitely. So, in my role as a backend engineer, I've had the opportunity to work on some exciting and challenging projects. I can give you just three examples. The first one is Ituno project. The Ituno project, during the Ituno development, I led the development. I was the team lead
Okay.
or the project lead. And Ituno maybe you are Nigerian, I think you know what the meaning of Itunu. Because
Oh, sorry.
uh
Can
this
you repeat that?
Nigerian, this is a Nigerian
Could you repeat what
I
you
don't
said?
I was just saying Itunu. I think this name Itunu is coming from Nigeria
Itsuno.
because my company is a Nigerian company. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Itunu. Yeah, and it's a digital mental health tool. And during the development of this tool, we use just different technologies, including Node.js, some of backend engineer who knows different Node.js frameworks, REST APIs, MongoDB as database, Redis, AWS3. AWS3 is mostly used when you want to upload files. It's good when if you want your application to be scalable, it's better to use AWS3 rather than saving those files locally. So, and another tool we've used is Turn.io, which makes these applications to be interesting. The Turn.io is used to build scalable chat for impact programs. As I've said, it's a mental health tool. Turn, Turn allows social impacts organization to connect with millions of users on large-scale messaging. Mostly, it's a messaging platform, such as WhatsApp and Android messages. The second one is Ilimu. Ilimu Learn. It's e. It's like it's an education platform, e-learning, or let's just call it like e-learning platform. Before the Ilimu platform was built in what we call monolithic. Monolithic is sometimes with Django, if some of backend engineers who are just following us, they know that Django, you can build an application as you can't you can't know if this part is the front end or another one is the back end. You build an application as a whole. And that approach is called monolithic approach, which is no good because the application will not be scalable. So my implication in this application was how should I retrieve data from the current monolithic application to the backend one by using the microservice system. So I was just using the Django backend, like Django API and PassHub. The PassHub tool was just there to retrieve or to help the migration of the current data which was saved before. The third application is called Africa Digital Epidemiology Innovation Network. Why I like very much this app because I played a significant role in the development of this Africa Digital Epidemiology Innovation Network. And for this project, we use another framework from Node.js. Node.js has a lot of frameworks. That's why,
Yeah.
depending on the need of the app or the need of the user, I should know which framework I should use. And during this, the development of this application, we used a framework called Adonis.js and MySQL as database. And most of the time, if some spreadsheet as source data because we were collaborating with data analyst team. And with these projects not only provided me a valuable experience, but also allowed me to contribute to meaningful solutions that have a positive impact on various domains. Yeah, thank you.
And that's like the best part of it. I like that's really great. That's like really, really amazing to be honest. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. I'm blown away. Okay. So I have another question for you. What programming languages and tools do you use most frequently and why?
That's a good question. So thank you. Uh, I primarily use Node.js,
Okay.
specifically Nest.js framework. and TypeScript with Express. The reason behind this choice is that Node.js is known for its efficiency in building fast and scalable server-side applications. When coupled with TypeScript, it provides this strong typing, enhancing code quality and maintainability. Node.js in particular is a powerful framework that builds on top of Express and brings a modular and structured approach to application development. It also encourages the use of decorators for those who knows the backend terms, which simplifies common tasks and helps with code organization. So in our organization, we like to use Node.js. And the why we prefer to use Node.js is because it's driven by the ability to streamline the backend development process, resulting in robust and maintainable application. We also use different tools like MongoDB, as I've talked about in the when I was listing some projects I was working on. We use MongoDB, MySQL, Docker. Docker is, I just want to focus on Docker. Docker helps package and deploy applications constantly across different environments. When you are a backend engineer, it's better you do not forget to include Docker in Dockerfile in application, because when you include Dockerfile in your application, you are helping those DevOps people to deploy the application, as well as the continuous integration and continuous deployment. You should know how to use those tools, because those tools ensures that your code, my code, is always in good shape, tested, and can be delivered automatically, which is essential for maintaining code quality. Another tool is socket.io, especially when we are dealing with real-time communication. I prefer to use sockets. GraphQL and RESTful APIs, those are just the gateways for communication between my application and the server. It's allowing me to request and retrieve specific data efficiently. And here, each tool serves a specific purpose in my development workflow, enabling me to build versatile and high-performing applications. So I use each tool depending on the purpose, depending on the target, or depending what I want to do in my project. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
So there's a question from Omemo. She said, wait, TypeScript can be used for backend. She's asking if TypeScript, I think she was kind of surprised or something, but like she's asking if TypeScript can be used for backend. And she said, could you please provide a learning roadmap for backend?
So I didn't hear the question very well. Is she
Okay,
asking
the
if
first question she
TypeScript?
asked was if TypeScript can be used for backend.
Yeah, definitely. But the TypeScript, let me remove. The TypeScript cannot be used as a backend as TypeScript. It has to be combined with Express. That's why I was just using TypeScript dash Express. We mostly use the Express when we're building our backend application, but it's better and it's scalable when we combine our Express with TypeScript. It's a new trend in these days. So we are moving from Node.js to TypeScript Express.
Okay.
It's not only TypeScript. You have to combine it with Express.
Okay. I don't know if she got that. Hi, Omeme, please, did you get that? And she's also asking, could you please provide a learning roadmap for backend?
So for a learning roadmap for a backend, if you want to be a backend engineer, that is the first thing you have to know. You have to know what you want to be or in which career you want to focus. Gaming, web applications, and from there, you will know which programming language you will start learning. For example, if you want to be in data analyst, you don't have to focus on Node.js. You have to focus on Python or R. If you want to be a web backend developer, you will focus on Node.js or sometimes on Python. If you want to be a backend engineer in gaming, in e-commerce, sometimes you focus on Java. So the first thing, the roadmap for a good person who wants to be a good developer should learn a programming language. Start by learning a programming language. Most of people, they start by learning a framework. A framework is inside the programming language. Start by learning a programming language depending on your goal. And secondly, you should understand databases. Get familiar with databases, both relational like MySQL database and non-relational like MongoDB. And you should learn how to design and query database effectively. Thirdly, you have to learn about APIs because backend equal APIs. Study how to create and consume APIs. APIs, for those who don't know the meaning, is an application programming interfaces. This crucial for connecting your backend to other services or to your front-end applications. The fourth, you have to master HTTP and web servers. It's a list of things when you just want to be that person behind the scene. You have a list of things you should follow. You have to master your HTTP and web server. You have to learn version control. Why version control? Because learn how to use version control systems like GT is the crucial for tracking changes to your code and collaborating with others. Then you can start building real projects. Apply your knowledge by building real projects. Start with simple ones and gradually work your way up to more complex applications.
Yeah.
Then explore frameworks. Don't start by learning frameworks before programming languages. Frameworks come after learning a programming language. Let me give you an example. I can't learn Express if I don't know JavaScript.
Yeah.
I should start by learning JavaScript. If I've mastered my JavaScript, I can move on to the Express or to other Node.js frameworks. The second thing, another thing, the security awareness. In the backend development, you can't build an application without the security awareness. What is security awareness? You have to understand the security best practices like authentication, authorization, and data protection. What's the difference between authentication, authorization, and data protection? Authentication is when most of the time, let me give you an example. Most of the time before we use an application, they ask to create an account or a profile, sign up, log in, reset password, forgot password. Those things are part of the authentication. You should know because every single application should have this, and most of them. Then authorization. Authorization is this kind of role-based. You have let me use another example. I will have access to this dashboard because let me give an example of e-learning platforms. If I'm a student, I'm allowed to see a kind of list of courses. If I'm a teacher, I'm allowed to see this kind of data. If I'm an admin, I'm allowed to do this kind of actions. The way I have this ability or I'm eligible to do this kind of task, depending on my role, this is what we call authorization. Then lastly, data protection.
how should we protect users' data? Well, if a user, let me give example of passwords. Passwords should be protected. What if when I was signing up, I've put my passwords K12345, and I'm going to save that password in database as it is. This is not allowed. You should learn how we will hash. That's the real term we use. You should have hash or try to convert that password as KY2 into something that no one can convert by or decrypt it. You should know how you should hide that password because those are sensitive data, like, and even the validation, all those things like security awareness, every single backend engineer should know how to implement these during the application development. It's a lot of things: continuous learning, testing, debugging, collaboration and communication, problem solving skills. This is a
Just like
key. Yeah, because develop strong problems solving skills.
yeah,
It's required just when you are building your backend application. It's just creating solution. You should be creative. If your problem solving skills is not good, you will suffer. You will suffer, sorry. And how you should enhance your problem solving skills, you have a lot of I can just platforms like code wars. You can use a lot of code wars like hackerlang. You can use a lot of things just to improve your problem solving
yeah,
skills. It's a lot of things. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you. I hope that answers your question, Omemo, on the learning roadmap for backend. And she also has another question. Said, how do you know what languages to use for backend? I don't know if you already covered that. Then she said, I mean, from a variety of languages available, which is, or how do you determine the best suited language? Let me come again. How do you know what languages to use for backend? I mean, from a variety of languages available, which is,
Mhm.
or how do you determine the best suited language?
Okay, thank you for the question. It's a good question indeed. To know the best language, every single programming language is there for a reason, is there for a purpose. The first thing you should learn, depending on sometimes you should learn a new programming language depending on the company needs. Let me give you an example. When I've been hired as an intern, my programming language was Python, but the company was using Node.js. I should learn as quick as possible Node.js. So that was why I've learned the Node.js depending on the company needs. If I don't have a job, or
Yeah.
maybe I just want to learn on my side this programming language, maybe I just want to learn Java. Why do you want to learn Java? What the why is, what do you want to do?
Use
Which
it for,
solution
yeah.
do you want to solve by using Java?
Yeah.
What is your ambition? What is your goal? It's not because this person knows Java, or maybe Java is trending everywhere,
Right.
or
Yeah.
maybe Java developers are mostly hired, are best paid in the world. Let me focus. That's your reason. If you know that, if you see that the Java developers are most paid or they are in the world, okay, learn Java. If you
Yeah.
see that Node.js are most paid, learn Node.js. If your company is looking for a new Java developer and you are in Python, learn Java.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it all
you should
boils
learn.
down to where you're using the language to solve. It boils down to the solution. So it's
Yeah.
still backend development, but it boils down to the solution where you're using to solve. Okay, so I hope that answers your question, Umimu. Yeah, so she said thank you very much. I think it's the other question you answered. She said it's clear. Thank you very much. Okay,
Yeah.
another question from Treasure. He said, can I ask How do you display your work for an employer as a back-end developer? Did you get that?
No.
Okay. Okay, he's asking that how do you display your work for an employer as a back-end developer?
So I don't know if I understand very well her question. It's like, how do I?
Yeah, like you're looking for a job, yeah? You want to develop,
Mhm.
you want to display your work for your potential employer, right? How do you
Mm,
display your work? Like I think he's asking probably like in your portfolio or in
mhm.
your resume or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's just asking how you can display your work as an employer to an employer, sorry. Yeah, as a backend developer.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying. So as a backend developer, when let me start by before I display or before I explain, I have um, to apply for that job. Before I apply that job, I should know that I have all the requirements if I can fit to that role, especially for the job description. Sometimes they just say we are looking for this kind of person who has X and Y skills. So I do my personal evaluation, and if I find out that I have all those requirements, then I apply. If my CV passed and I have now to convince the employer that I'm a sweet person for this role, I have to showcase my strengths,
Yeah.
why I'm the best person to hire, depending according to the job description. I should not go outside of the job description. I should market myself by using the job description because I
Okay.
have to convince the employer.
Yeah.
That's why before you or I apply or before anyone applies for a job, you should read very carefully the job description and make sure that the job description, your CV is related to the job description, your cover letter is related to the job description, and when they call you for interview, you should know what you've written in your CV. Don't go outside of your CV. If your CV is outside of the job description, they could not call for interview. If
Yeah.
they've called you for interview, you make
This
sure
makes
that
sense.
you should at least just adding some ingredients in your CV because it's your time for marketing yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I
Yeah.
gave
That
the
makes
right
sense. That
answer.
makes sense.
Yeah. Thank
That
you.
makes sense. I don't know if that makes sense for you, Treasurer. Please, if that answered your question, please let me know in the comment section. Omeri has another question for you. She said she's interested in backend. Let me read it in her words. I am interested in backend for web development. I'm a front end developer, but I have not been able to get this. What resources available, she put it in bracket now, the best in your opinion would help me take this route? I'll read that again. She says she's interested in backend for web development and that she's a front end developer, but she hasn't been able to get this. That what resources are available, that the best resources in your opinion are available that would help her take this route. So she's interested in backend development, but she's a front end developer and she wants resources, the best resources that you can advise her to take.
Mm. So the advice can give her, we have a lot of online resources, free online resources. I can give you an example of one I've used before. There is one called Udemy, you know Udemy.
Yeah.
And the issue with Udemy, you have to pay if you have if you want advanced skills with Udemy. You have YouTube tutorials. We have a lot of YouTubers in the backend development. We have there is this one I used to use it's called Full Stack Open. Full Stack Open has the React, has the backend, has Node.js. It's an advanced online platform. Full stack open. I don't know if she's written somewhere. I can just recommend full stack open before using Udemy, because Udemy you will need to pay to have advanced skills. Have Udemy, you have Coursera. Sometimes you can even be part of any kind of tech communities. Some tech communities can pay for courses for their members. So if you want to learn, we have internet's there. Use online courses, read books, online books, or even some libraries. They, depending on the country, you can find some backend books. So just find a way you could have the right resources if you want to be a backend developer.
Okay. Does that answer your question, Omeru? Does that answer your question? Thank you, Jean. Your name. Thank you, Jean. Okay, so there's another question. Okay, okay, Chuku said that she thinks his question, I think she's referring to Treasurer. She thinks his question was that how, okay, was about displaying his portfolio, like having it in links, sort of having it hosted. Okay, I think I get what she's trying to say. So she's, based on that question I asked earlier on previously, the one about how to display your work as for an employer as a backend developer. She's trying to throw some clarity on the question and she's asking how you can display your work on your portfolio, like having links to, like sort of having it hosted so that I can display to your employers. That's what she's asking.
Oh, now I get it. So thank you for clarifying. So if you want to display your work to the employer, as just software engineers, most of the time we showcase our projects. There is no other way you should show to your employer that you know these kind of skills. You should showcase the project where you've tried to practice or to implement those kind of skills you've listed in your CV or when you were just talking about yourself. So the way of displaying or showcasing, you have your GitHub account. When you are building a project, you host or you push your project on GitHub. Make sure that your repository have README file, because the README file will explain how the project is working, how to use it. You give just details on your project, because recruiters will not have time to go at every single file of your project. Make sure that you have a README file in your project. And sometimes you can share, and the link to your project, make sure that they are public, not private, because when your project or your repository is public, you cannot share the link to anyone because it's hidden. Make sure that your repository is public. So if you share, or maybe if the recruiters click on the link, they will find your work. You can even create this portfolio website. It's like online CV. So while you are just talking, you say, okay, if you want to know more about myself, you can. I have a portfolio. This is the link, or maybe I have a LinkedIn profile. There is a lot of ways to showcase your work, because even on LinkedIn, there is a way you can showcase your projects. In your portfolio, you can use, if you are a backend, maybe you can just, I'm a backend, I don't know how to build a front-end application by using either HTML or CSS. I'm not good in designing, in styling. We have free, how do we call them? Templates, yeah, thank you. We have free templates you can use. Just put your data so that if you are called for interview, you show them your portfolio. You can use GitHub, your website portfolio, LinkedIn, GitLab, Bitbucket. It's up to you which you want to.
So basically, you just link your project on GitHub to a portfolio, So
Mm-hmm.
if you want, if you want the your employer to see something that is more visually appealing, you can get the templates online. If you're not good in
Yeah.
front end, you can get a nice template on GitHub and then link your projects, and you can easily navigate through your projects in a more visually appealing manner. Okay,
Yeah,
I hope that
definitely.
answers your question, Ogechuku. Okay, so Omemu said thank you that she just jumped on the full stack open website. And
Mm.
she's also asking another question. She said, say you want to easy transition from web development to mobile development. Is there a cross-border language to use that works both ways for the backend? Did you get that?
No, can you repeat again?
She said, say you want to easy, uh, say you want easy transition from web development to mobile development. Is there a cross-border language to use that works both ways for the backend?
Mhm.
Did you get that?
So she want to be a mobile
She wants,
developer, right?
yeah, she wants a way she can easily transition from, let's say, web development to mobile development. She's asking if there's a cross-border language that she can use that works both ways, that I think works for both mobile and web development for backend. She's asking for a language that she can use. Yeah, she's asking for a language that she can use for backend that would work for both mobile development and web development.
So as a backend engineer, if you want to be a mobile, most of the time when you are a backend engineer, your APIs, it doesn't matter if you are a mobile or backend or web developer, your APIs can be implemented in a mobile application. For
Okay, so
those
she's
mobile, that's
sorry
the
to
first
interrupt.
thing.
Sorry to interrupt. She said that
Mhm.
she wants a neutral language for the backend that works for both mobile and web development, if that's possible. I think that's what you're already explaining. So you can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. There is Java.
Okay, Java.
Java has frameworks. Yes, Java has the frameworks you can use either for web development or mobile. Is it Spring, if I'm not mistaken? This I don't remember. I'm not a Java person, but I know that Java has a framework for mobile. If you are a backend, some programming languages they have specific frameworks if you want to read some mobile applications.
Yeah.
And for front end, we have React. React has the Redux. No, is it Redux or I don't remember. But React has another specific thing for building mobile application, either iOS or Android. It's up to you if you want to be, as I've said before, if you want to be a backend mobile app, you will move on to Java because Java has a specific Java no framework for building some mobile application. In front
Yeah.
end, you have some frameworks. I don't know if I tried to answer to her question now.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm sorry, the question answered. She said, so she said, Java is hard though. I will love web development. And Innocentia says Spring Framework is one of Java's backend framework.
Sorry.
So Innocentia, someone in chat in the comment section, she said Spring Framework is one of Java's backend framework.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
So it
Yeah.
seems there are no other questions in the comment section. I think I'll proceed with the. I think I just have like a few more questions I would like to ask you. So how do you stay updated with the latest trends and technologies in backend development?
Um, so to stay updated as a backend development is there is this continuous learning. The continuous learning will lead you to know what is happening depending on the uh, tutorials you are using. Most of the time, I used to be part of different tech communities because when you are in a tech communities, you know what is new in your world. You
Yeah.
try to to network with people. You try to share new skills, and when the more you participate in different tech events, you are part of a tech community, you are maybe following some webinars, podcasts, you continue learning. That's I could just, this a hint I use on my side. Sometimes I can just say, oh, let me like and is it like on YouTubers people,
Yeah.
they are, please like and share and follow. Followers.
Right.
Sometimes I just, oh, I like these YouTubers. Let me like and follow every time there is a new trending. I will receive a notification. Or maybe let me unsubscribe. Let me subscribe on different tutorials. When there is a new course, I will receive a notification in my email. This, when you are in engineering career, you should know that every time you stay awake and be ready to learn new technologies. Don't be afraid Java is too hard. Just be ready. The more you practice, the more it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm feeling motivated. Okay, so yeah, there's another question from Elijah. He said, "Hello, good evening. Hopefully this question hasn't been asked already." He said, "Between JavaScript and Python, which would you say is in a higher demand in terms of backend development?"
But this question is somehow hard. But the way I could answer to this question, as I said before, every single programming language is there for a purpose. You can't learn a programming language because it's at high demand. Yes, this is another way of being interested, but it's in high demand depending on the new generation or our new world needs. In these days, artificial intelligence is moving around, is
Yeah.
trending. And artificial intelligence is using Python with data science, with data, what else? But just data things. So now, which means that Python is trending. Most of people used to say that learning Python is easier than other programming language because it uses a simple English syntax. Yeah. So if your focus, if you want to be in the data engineering career, please learn Python, as I've mentioned it before. If you want to build some web application with server side, just JavaScript. But let me repeat it again. JavaScript is the foundation, is the basic for every single programmer. You can't move to Python if you don't know JavaScript. Don't ever do this kind of mistake. Learn JavaScript,
I tried
because
it. I learned the hard way.
when you know JavaScript, you will have
Yeah.
the data structure,
Mm.
algorithm. Don't start by learning a programming, or maybe you're a new in tech.
Tech.
Don't jump to the programming language if you don't know HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Just the basic.
Yeah.
Then move on to the programming language. If you want to learn a programming language, okay, you can just say, let me learn Python because the easiest way, or maybe I just want to focus in the data engineering or artificial intelligence or machine learning, focus on Python or other frameworks or other programming languages that are using the artificial intelligence. If you don't want to focus on that, go in JavaScript or Node.js, Java, PHP. You have a lot of programming languages. C Sharp. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. He's also asking any ideas on unusual project ideas to showcase backend development skills.
Like contributing or just
I think he's just asking for project ideas that are unusual that he can use to showcase backend development skills. You need more clarity on the question.
Please clarify.
Okay, Elijah, please can you give her more clarity on your question? She's not really getting it. Faith Felix said thanks for the informative session and motivations.
No worries.
Okay. Okay, so Elijah said personal projects. So he's asking based on personal projects. He's asking for personal projects.
Okay, can you now repeat again the
Okay.
question?
So he said any ideas on okay, he said let's say you want to showcase your skills to a recruiter. He said any ideas on unusual project ideas to showcase backend development skills for personal projects.
Oh, so most of the time when you want to build as our personal projects, we focus on just the real problem we can find in our society, just problems just around us that needs a solution. Because when we use this your unique idea, you try to convert your unique idea into tangible products.
Yeah.
That's the best way of showcasing your skills. Some people use the project when you are learning a new programming language. It's learning by doing. You are building a project like e-commerce. You are building like a to-do list. That's an example I'm doing, depending on the instructor. So, but it's good after learning or after using those examples, those projects you have in your tutorial, to sit down and find a way you can put into practice what you've learned by creating your personal solution. You can just say, oh, there is a shortage of e-commerce or e-commerce in Kigali. That's an example. Or maybe there is a problem of how we can control pesticides just in a field. It's up to you. Just find a way, be creative, and find your personal and unique idea and convert it into a real and tangible product.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, I hope that answers your question. Please let me know if it answers your question in the comment section. Thank you. Okay, so I just have like how many questions do I have left? Because we're out of time. I have just four more questions for you from my own end. Please, if you have more questions for Jeanne. I've been struggling with your name all through this call. Okay. If you have more questions for JJ, please let us know in the comment section. Okay, so I have just four more questions for you. Yeah. So what are some of the common misconceptions about backend development that you'd like to debunk?
Well, so most of people, like if you do remember very well, there is a lady who say, "Oh, Java is it's very
Hard.
tough." Yeah. So most of people used to say that backend development is less important or is less important than front end development. That's not true. The why is because the backend development is the backbone of a web application. It's responsible for data management, security, server-side logic, and without a solid backend, a front end can't work. There is no meaning of that application, which means that both are equally important and work together to create a complete application. So those people used to say, oh, backend is better than front end is better than backend. That's not true. They complete each other. There is another way that they used to say that backend development is all about database, nothing else, just storing data and querying, just storing or posting and getting only to endpoints or updating. That's not true, because when you are building a project as a backend developer, while database are just significant part of backend development, but it's not just about databases.
Backend developers are handling authentication, as I've mentioned before, authorization, server-side routing, APIs, and many other crucial aspects, like even validation. You know, when you are filling a form and you use the wrong input, you find this error handling, wrong
Yeah.
input. That's the backend. So,
Yeah.
and when you are sending wrong data, you receive error, wrong password or wrong email, that's the backend.
Yeah.
Some people used to say that backend developers don't need creativity, like front end they use this designing front end, the CSS, they just color, they play with colors, which is not true because creativity is essential in backend development. Developers often need to come up with innovative solutions to complex problems, optimize codes, and architect systems unique ways. Because you will not copy and paste someone's code. You have to write your own personal codes. And you
Yeah.
can't come up with this approach if you are not creative.
Yeah.
Backend development is boring. Is it true? No. Because backend development can be just as exciting as front-end development. It involves building robust, as I've mentioned before,
Yeah.
high-performance systems, optimizing codes, and addressing challenges, security, and scalability issues. This satisfaction of making application run efficiently is anything but boring. So that's why backend is not boring, but you have to focus, pay attention to details. That's the secret behind the backend development. Oh, you need a computer science degree to be a backend developer, which is not true. I'm coming from agriculture. I'm a
No, no.
backend developer.
For computer science.
Yeah, so backend developers don't need to communicate. I'm
Yeah.
talking to you. Imagine if my communication skills is very low. I could not have this
Yeah.
webinar, so need communication skills. Backend development is static, it doesn't change, which is not true. Backend development is evolving. That's why you need to learn you have to stay updated to new trends. I
Yeah.
think we have a lot of misconception about backend. That's what I can just mention right now. Yeah, thank
Thank you for that.
you.
Faith Felix said it is not necessary to learn JavaScript before learning Python, and there is no strict requirement for the order in which you learn these two programming languages. The choice depends on the interest. So, what do you
Can you?
have to say about that? Do I have to come again? You want me to
Mm,
come again? Okay.
yeah.
Just Faith, yeah, she said it is not necessary to learn JavaScript before learning Python, and
Mm-hmm.
there is no strict requirement for the order in which you learn these two programming languages. The choice depends on the interest. So, what do you have to say about that? You already mentioned that it's
Mm-hmm.
advisable or best practice to learn the fundamentals before you learn the main
Mhm.
program like Python or something. Yeah. So
So
she's kind of developing that, I think.
I don't agree with him 100%
Is it
because
she actually?
when you are a new beginner, or you just want to start your tech career, a tech career it's like a school. When you are learning, you can't be in senior two without passing from senior one. There are some basic knowledge you should have that the programming language will not give you. Because when you are learning a programming language, JavaScript is not a programming language. When you are learning a programming language, there are some things they skip because they know you've already have those kind of skills. That's why every single bootcamp or class or any other way of learning programming languages, the least I can just use it like a flow. You start by HTML, CSS, JavaScript. For JavaScript, just introduction. They don't go in deep.
they go in deep when you want to follow Node.js, but they give you the introduction, basic knowledge, because JavaScript will show you the data structure, even though the data structure in Node.js and in Python is not the same, but it's the same idea. They help you to have this kind of idea or ideation or mindset. Some people will like to rush. I just want to learn Python. I just want to learn Java. I just want to learn C#. I don't need JavaScript. Why? Don't skip steps. Step by step. Don't want to run if you cannot even make the first step. Every single child before he makes the first step, we should follow steps. There is a why.
Yeah.
There is a why. Don't skip steps, because when you skip one step, you will feel
You
it
go
at the
back.
end. Yeah,
You
you
still
go
go
back.
back to it.
Go back. You
I've
will
actually
go back,
gone through it from
or you
experience. I
will
can
start
see. Yeah.
struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, you should come.
Yeah.
Python was actually my first language, so I had to go back to JavaScript. I had to go back to start with HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I think I was going for ML and data science, but then later on something, I don't know what happened. I was like everywhere then. I was trying to now learn Django, and when I was in process of learning Django framework, I had to know HTML, CSS, and I was like, "What the
Yeah.
hell?" I had to go back. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. I also understand where Faith is coming from. Okay. And there's another question for you. What would you suggest for someone totally new to tech but would want to learn backend?
Mm-hmm. So if you want to to start learning backend, I think I've answered to this question before.
Yeah,
So if you want to start your backend journey, you should know which programming language you want to focus on. Don't learn Python at the same time, Node.js at the same time, C#. Should know why I want to learn Python. Why should I learn Node.js? What's the purpose? After knowing your purpose, you will now make some research. What do I need before I start learning Python? They will give you a list of requirements. Maybe you should have those basic knowledge, like I've mentioned before. Maybe you should have what is there is to be what can I just say? Which framework I should use? To know which kind of framework, you should know the target or just the career. If you just want to be in gaming,
yeah,
in fintech, in web development, data analysis, if you have the right goal, you should know which framework, which backend language you will start learning. Every time before starting a new career, you have to fix goals, realistic goals. Don't wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, you know what? I want to learn Python." Why? You should know why. Why are you interested in Python? Where and when are you using Python? If you know the why, it will be easier for you to set goals and to set some timeline. Because you can just wake up in the morning, let me learn Python. Tomorrow you
yeah.
change your mind. No, I'm no longer interested in Python. Let me learn C#.
It's something
C#
else.
is not, let me learn. You should focus on
Very
one
true.
target. Yeah.
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 I don't know if that answers your question. Um, Let me know in the comment section if that answers your question. So I have just two more questions for you.
Mm-hmm.
How do you balance your advocacy work for women in tech with your career as a developer?
Mm-hmm. So most of the time, actually this is a good question, and most of people used to ask me this kind of question: how do you balance your outside full-time job with your
Advocacy.
community community-based activities?
Yeah.
So the balancing advocacy work for women tech with my career as a developer, which is not easy. Let me just, because being a developer is not an easy thing.
Yeah.
I've developed some strategies to effectively just manage both aspects of my life, time management, and I have to respect my calendar. If I,
Respect.
yes, I have to have discipline and
Yeah.
identify my most critical tasks and responsibilities in both areas. This helps me focus on what matters most and prevent burnout. Because you can wake up in the morning, oh, I should do this, I have to do this, I should have to do this, and you start just being stressed because you didn't fix your priorities.
Mm.
Just set clear goals. I establish clear and achievable goals from my both
Mm.
sides, me and my career, community and family. You should, on my side, that's an advice. So to set clear goals. Don't
Yeah.
set goals you will not achieve, which are not realistic.
Yeah.
If you find out that you have a lot of things on your table, please delegate. Me, I used to delegate. If I'm, or I can even say no, I will not be available.
Mm.
Most of people, we are afraid of saying no. You should learn how to say no in case
Yeah.
you will not be available. Self-care. After a long day of work, you need just to take care of yourself. Yeah, and because you need just to feel happy
Yeah.
and being
There
flexible.
has to be balance. Mm-hmm.
Yes, being flexible. Most of the time, I remain open to changes in my calendar and priorities. Just setting clear goals, time management doesn't mean that I should not be flexible. I have to be
Yeah.
flexible. If someone is requesting for a help from my end, I have to be flexible. I don't want, oh, I'm in tech. I'm very busy. I'm always busy. Busy people. Let's learn how to be helpful
That's
and
our time, We're always busy.
most of the time, oh, you know what? I'm very busy, and most of people we think that you work days and nights, which is not
Yeah,
true.
right.
Let's
Yeah.
learn how.
We actually have our free time.
Yeah, flexibility and passion and purpose. That's my approaches. I mostly use on my end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what a situation whereby you set the your to-do list on your calendar, and if you're using your Google Calendar, for instance, you're setting times at which you setting the time you want to allocate for each task, right? So you know how much time you're spending on doing this and doing that for the day. Yeah. So what situation where you start doing you based on your priority, yeah, you start doing your most prioritized task, and you spend a longer amount of time than you allocated. It's obviously going to affect your other plans. And you know how tech is. You could say, okay, I want to work on the, for instance, if you're a freelancer, like I'm a freelancer, you say, okay, I have 3 gigs I'm working on, and I have to do something for or three of them. I have to finish all of them at once, and then I get like 3 hours or 4 hours to one of the gig, which I feel has more priority. And at the same time, I maybe encounter a bug or something, and I end up spending a longer or spending the entire day trying to fix that bug. What will I do, or what should I do in that case? So I really struggle with the whole calendar thingy. I feel like it just reminds me that I have things to do. But if I say okay, I want to follow the what's on my calendar, it's very hard. It's really hard.
So,
I don't know if you get the question.
thank you
It's
for
really
the
hard.
question. Besides being flexible, you should learn how to communicate.
Okay.
Because even if we have some just events task in our calendar, we're receiving notifications or due date. If you find out that this will not be possible, or maybe I should attend a call, a meeting, maybe at 8 p.m., and I'm still on the call, I should communicate ahead of time. Respectively, we should learn. Some people, when they're communicating, there is a way, don't be rude. Try to be flexible and like, can I just use lovely? Use the sweet words and with respect and communicate the changes ahead of time.
I even
In
think you
case,
get my question. I'm not communicating with the company, for instance. I'm like working on the gig assigned to me as a freelancer. Do you get? Like
yeah.
I have a task to do, and I'm supposed to like complete it. Yeah, maybe give the company a feedback the following day, and I end up spending like a longer amount of time on that task. What do I do in that case? Do I throw my calendar away or just? Do you get what I'm saying now?
Yeah. Oh, that's hard.
I knew you would be able to answer that question because it's like life.
That's
Life
hard.
happens.
That's
Life
hard.
happens.
That's hard. But the idea,
It's really
but
hard.
the
It's really
idea,
hard.
I could just to stay calm, just go out, just try to find a way to have just fresh air. When you are having fresh air, you are coming up with new ideas. It's like when you
Yeah.
have bugs or errors in your project
Yeah.
and the deadline is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't have the right of say, hey, you know what, you will not find your project tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you find yourself in this kind of situation, close your laptop, find pressure. That's true.
Oh my
Pressure.
god.
If you want to listen to the music, if you want to call a friend, if you want
Yeah.
to hang out with someone 1 hour, sometimes our mind or our brain can stop working because you are stressed.
Stress.
Yeah.
Taking a walk also helps. Yeah.
Yeah. So if there is so every single person knows how to manage his just the stress management, or maybe some
Yeah.
people just when I'm stressed, I eat a lot, or I call this person, or I drink this. Don't drink alcohol or beer because your mind will
Mm.
just find a way that your mind will stay calm and just come to the normal, how can I just call it, just a normal standard, just
Yeah.
find a way to refresh your mind,
Yeah. I get what you're
because my
saying.
way could not be yours, but find a way, but the first thing, close the laptop, close the
The
laptop
way you're
and
saying,
find
close the
pressure.
laptop, close the laptop. Yeah. I get what you're saying, dude. It actually works for me, so I understand. Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much for that answer. So I have this um let's say one more question because of time. I want us to finish before 1:30. I'm sorry,
Mm.
before I want us to just spend 1 hour 30 minutes on the call. Yeah. So okay, so I just have two more questions for you. What advice would you give to women who are interested in pursuing a career in technology, especially in male-dominated fields?
So the advice I can give to women, and the first for I'm sorry to say this, because it looks like in these days, most of people that just say women, you have a lot of opportunities in tech because we don't have enough women in tech. And some women, they will just stay there, sit down, think that, oh, we have opportunities. Opportunities will come and reach out to me. Hey, Jean d'Arc, how are you? I need you. Can I please hire you? Not at all.
Software. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say this because some women, this is the mindset we have. We sit
Mm,
down waiting for opportunities to come and knock on our doors.
yeah.
Was in parentheses. That's not advice. But now my advice is Women should believe in themselves. They should have confidence in their abilities and recognize that they have every right to be in tech industry. Their unique perspectives and skills are valuable assets. They should seek for role models. Sometimes we need someone to inspire us, just to motivate us. Find
Yeah.
and connect with female role models in the tech industry the best way, because they can provide guidance, inspiration, and a sense of belonging.
Yeah.
Build a strong support system. Surround yourself with a support network of friends, family, and mentors who encourage your aspirations and understand the challenges you might face. Continuous learning. Stay updated to new trends. Embrace your growth mindset and be committed. Develop technical skills. Invest time in building technical skills that align, let me underline this, that align with your interests, whether
Yeah.
it's coding, data analysis, cybersecurity, or other area of tech. Online
Yeah.
courses, coding bootcamps, tutorial can help you just acquire those skills. And networking. I think tech-related events, meetups, and conferences, just to network. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe this connection can open a door to job opportunities and collaboration.
Yeah.
Advocate for yourself, please.
Very
Women,
important.
women,
Very, very important.
advocate for yourself. Don't be afraid to promote your achievements and ask for
Yeah.
the, just the recognition you deserve. Advocate for equal pay and opportunities. You can be in a team and they are increasing salary for men. They are they're promoting men in your company. Please advocate for your
Yeah, I
opportunities.
think I think one of the things that hinder some women from, advocating for themselves or putting out their achievement is this imposter syndrome. They feel like they're not good enough.
Mhm.
I think it's not just
Yeah,
women things; it's everybody thing. But since we're
yeah.
focusing on women now, it's like, oh, I'm not good enough. If I put, they
Mhm.
remind me, feel ashamed. Like
Yeah.
everybody on my LinkedIn, on my Twitter, TL or whatever, everybody has this so and so skill or experience. Look as if, oh, this is what she knows and she's still at this
Mhm.
level or something. There are many thoughts that may come to your head, but at the end of the day, you have to yourself that you can never know everything. And if you're not putting yourself out there, you're doing yourself. You need to actually have to do for yourself. Nobody's going to come and find you
Definitely.
from where you are. You need to actually put in the digital age we're living in now. If you don't put yourself out there, nobody will find you. Except you're very lucky. You actually have to advocate, not just advocate yourself, but like advocate your work, advocate your skill, advocate that thing that you're doing. It's very important. You never know who's going to see it. You never know which company is going to reach out to you. You never know the visibility and the network that you get that would enhance your career. So yeah, that's what I wanted to
Definitely.
add.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. The next thing, talking
Oh my god.
about the overcoming imposter syndrome.
Yeah,
Understand that many people, regardless of gender, we experience this syndrome.
yeah. It's a
But you're
human
not,
thing.
because we have to learn how we can just overcome this imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Create your personal brand,
Mm-hmm.
like you are doing, Deborah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Create your personal brand. Establish your online presence through personal project, blog, social media to showcase your expertise and
Yeah.
passion. It can help you stand out and gain recognition.
Mm-hmm.
On my side, I like to use LinkedIn. I have some motivational articles. You can just go on LinkedIn. I think that can be helpful on your end.
Yeah.
Stay resilient. The tech industry can be challenging, but resilience is your greatest asset. Learn from setbacks and keep pushing forward.
Yeah. Don't give up.
Oh, I have a lot of advices. Advocate, advocate for inclusivity. Being an
Mm,
advocate for diversity and inclusivity in your workplace or community. Promote an environment where everyone's voices are heard and valued. So don't say there's some people when they become successful say, oh, I did this myself. I don't want to help another one. Please give back to the community.
yeah.
If you gain skills, please share with your colleagues or your fellow tech women or men. I'm pretty sure that we don't have we only women in this on this call. We also
Yeah.
have men.
We have some
When
men
yes, when you
that
have
they're
when
women,
you
though.
know when you know your
So,
strengths, please
yeah.
share. Please share
Mm,
your skills.
very
Give back
important.
to the community. Yeah.
Yeah. And you never know who you know. I know everyone is at different skill level. You might think that,
Yeah.
oh, your knowledge is too small, your experience is too small, but you never know who would benefit from it. Yeah,
Yeah.
people just getting started. Even persons that actually you feel know more than you might actually learn from you. So that's another way of going back to the community. You could write articles, you could create videos, you could share with the community members or whichever tech community that you belong to and whatnot. So yeah. So yeah, we just
Definitely.
have 4 minutes. 4 minutes. So I don't know if you will still take the last question. I think you already did that. So I will just skip that question because of time. Okay, so I really want to thank you so much, Jean. Did I pronounce your name correctly this time?
Yeah, definitely. Perfectly.
Proud of myself.
Wow.
Okay, so thank you so much for agreeing to do this with me. It was really fun, and thank you for everyone that could attend, and for those that watch this video later on. You could reach out to Jean with whatever with the questions you have related to backend engineering. You can reach out to her via her LinkedIn, and I think her Twitter link is also added to the video description. So you can always reach out to her just with your questions, and I'm sure she'll be glad to answer you. So thank you, everyone. You could turn on your, you could subscribe to this channel because I'll be hosting more events in the future with other women tech ambassadors that are doing very well in their career path. So to stay updated and to know when I'm putting out a video, you can always subscribe to my channel or and turn on your notification button. I think that's how they say it. I'm not a YouTuber, so I think that's how they say it. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Jean, have a lovely evening. I think it should be 8:27 your time, if I'm correct. Yeah,
Yeah.
have a lovely night.
My pleasure.
Bye,
I really
guys. Bye,
appreciate it.
everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.